Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz with Oz Mechanics, and on today's video, we have this 2017 Ford F-150 right behind me. So the issue with this Ford F-150, it's actually coming from another shop. They had an ABS light, and they replaced pretty much the whole ABS system, and this still has a light. So how about in today's video, we try to figure out this issue and give the vehicle back to the customer. Whoop! All right, so we're inside the vehicle right now, and let me just give you a little backstory on this. So this is coming from another shop. And the thing is, what he was telling me is that it wasn't getting any speed signals coming from the front speed sensors, if I'm not mistaken. And what he started off with was replacing the sensor. And then after that, he replaced the actual hub. And then after that, he replaced the ABS module. And once he replaced that, that's where he gave up, threw the white flag, and he brought it over here to me. So, we're going to go ahead and verify first and foremost the codes. So if we can pull up our top-down Phoenix Max right here. We have our key on the on position. And as you can see, we have 5 codes right here. Right here, we have a C0031, C0031, C037, 34, and a C0037. So on this is front left, front right, rear left, and then front left. That's a bunch of them, man. Holy smokes. All right, that's pretty much 3 of them that are bad, what we're getting, okay? What we can do right here is, and you can see on these right here, it says C0031, A 4A, 14, front left, and then a 25, which, if we look at these, installed component incorrect, circuit open short to ground, and then a signal shape waveform error. What I want to do right now, because these are the codes that he brought it to my shop. I'm not too sure if he disconnected anything or whatsoever. So what I want to do right now, let's put our hood down first, and then let's go ahead and take this out for a little test drive. And I just want to see our PIDs and make sure that it is showing what it is. So let's go ahead and put this hood down. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clear these codes, see if they can even be cleared. All right, so as you can see right here, everything else cleared except the front left wheel speed sensor. That seems like it will not clear. All right, now what we're gonna do, go to speed, and then put all these right here. And let's just graph them all. All right, let's turn this on. We're not gonna be driving anywhere crazy. Put the windows up so we don't hear the outside. And right off the bat, you can clearly see that it is not picking up the left front. The other ones look pretty good. I don't know why the other codes were on there. Let's do this. So we're driving. As you can see, the other ones are pretty good, except the left front. I think it's reading pretty good. We're not going out to the street. I'm in the business center right here, so we're just doing a little circle. As you can see, this is all right, this is kind of crazy right here. All right, let's just get it back to the shop right now. I want to check this out. This is not a doozy. All right, let's bring it right back in. Let's go into the shop. Here it goes. And what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna put the tire to the left-hand side so I can show you once we go in there what was changed out. And let me just show you right here. I don't know, can you see that? That sucker looks shiny, as well as that connector right here. You can see how this is a lot shinier, and then as well they did replace this part right there. And the reason I opened up the hood so I can show you that as well, the brake module was replaced. So there you go, everything was replaced right here. They replaced the wiring, the ABS module, they replaced the hub. They did tell me that they're doing tests right here as well. As you can see where it's open. I'm barely checking this out. So what I want to do to start off with, let's go to a wiring diagram. Let's see what we can find out and then go from there, because I want to see if there's any other connectors, sub-connectors that we have to go to test this, to verify. Because right off the bat, this lets me know that there's a connection issue, because as soon as we try to clear the code, it comes right back on. That lets me know that there's a connection issue, because normally on these circuits, what they do, they send like a bias voltage or a higher ground. They send a signal out, and they want to see it come back, and that lets you know the integrity of the actual circuit. But when there's a code that just sticks, that means that something is open. And I think one of the codes was like an open circuit or something like that, open ground or whatever. So that lets me know that something is going on. Let's go to this wiring diagram. Let's see if we can find the sub harness so we can go right there and fix this up. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's check out this wiring diagram. All right, let's go here, ABS module, and I just want to see if there's a sub harness right here. So as you can see, we have our ABS module right here, and what we need to find is our left front. So left front high is going to be our violet and white. Left front low is going to be our yellow. They go down over here. There's a connector right there, as you can see, and there's our wheel speed sensor. That doesn't look like a sub harness or anything. That just looks like the connector that goes from the wheel speed sensor to our connector from our ABS. And the other thing I was thinking about is, like, there's 3 fuses right here. Are any of these fuses, do they have like a, it's not it, valve B, and then V power? Man, what the heck, dude? They've, like I said, they've already replaced the wheel hub, wiring harness, ABS module. Let's see if there's anything to do with the code. I remember C0031. All right. Let's go to OEM testing. Left front wheel speed sensor, signal too high, few transitions, events. Huh. But one thing right here that I do notice is after the ABS module is initialized, wheel speed sensor supply voltage is above 9 volts and vehicle speed at certain thing. So I'm kind of curious, do we get 9 volts bias voltage or whatever, what the sensor's sending out, so I can see if it brings it back in? I want to try something. I want to see if we can, let's just say, hook up a voltmeter to this, try to see if we can remove the code and see if we see like a split second of 9 volts on there, or see if there's 9 volts right now. I'm kind of curious on that. So let's go to the front of the vehicle. I want to check that out because, like I said, if we're looking at a wiring diagram, there's really nothing to it. It's just going from our ABS module, like I said right here, wiring diagram. It's going from our ABS module straight to our wheel speed sensor. So I'm just kind of curious if we're even getting the 9 volts. What's going on? Do we have a break in the wire? Let's go to the front. Let's check this out. I'm kind of curious. I want to see this. Let's hook up a voltmeter. Let's see what we get. All right, so right now we're in the section where we have our connector right here. You can see, remember, our yellow and violet and white. And we have our multimeter right here. Make sure that we have the key on position. And what I'm going to do is find a decent ground. And most of the times you can actually hook it up to here. So we're going to hook it up to our master cylinder. And what I want to do, so we're not disrupting the connector, I'm just going to go ahead and pierce this and make sure that you fix this up. So we're going to put some liquid tape on this and just keep an eye on our multimeter. Just make sure right now how many volts we have. And as we can see, we have 0 volts, but this is, we kind of already suspected that. What we want to do is go ahead and clear this and see if we get any change. Here goes. We're going to clear it. 3, 2, 1. We did see a little movement, but I don't know if you got to see that, but it was nothing. All right, try this again. Let me move this to the next one, the yellow one. Remember, I think our purple was high. All right, we're going to clear again. And these wires are actually coming from our actual ABS module, but we're not getting that voltage. I'm going to see if I can move this to another ground. There's actually a ground connector over here on the firewall. Okay, that's good ground. And I think one thing that we do have to verify, I would say this, is to see if we actually have good connectivity, because this can take us in the rabbit hole. So what we can do, try to touch something that has power. and I cannot see this because I'm kind of far away. Just trying to see if I can. All right, as you can see, it did show voltage right there. So we do know that we do have power, that our multimeter is working. Let's just retry this again. Just want to see if there's any voltage going on. All right, still nothing. Now, I'm kind of curious. We do have the other side over there that we could test out. I just want to try this again. Voltage, absolutely nothing. Let's go test out the other side. We have a known good over there. All we got to do is move this to the side and see what we get. And like I said, this is not really leaving marks. I'm pretty sure people are going to start saying, man, you're leaving a lot of marks. This is a really small needle. I'm talking about minuscule, and it barely even pokes through. So what I want to do right now, let's go to the other side. Let's see if we get any voltage on the other side, and then we can go off of that and see what we get. We are on the passenger side, and let's just test this out right here. You can see has voltage, and luckily this is just right here. Here we got both ends that we can go into. And what's the reason that I'm doing this? I just don't want to, create like what happens is something's in the actual connector that's bad. I want to, fix it up right there and then send it off, call it a day. So we're going into this end. All right, you can see that that's 0.14. Let's go to the other side and look at that. There's actual voltage on this. So the other end was the violet and white as well. So this is making is sending the voltage out to it, but the thing is, we saw voltage on one end and 0.014 on the other end. What could be going on? Let me think about this, because if I'm not mistaken, he did tell me that he did do a continuity test from one end to the other. I'm just kind of thinking I want to kind of do a drag test on the actual connector on the ABS module and over here, and just see if they're making any connectivity, because this doesn't make any sense. They put a brand new module, they put a brand new wheel hub. So and you can see on this one it's showing voltage, but what's going on? Like I was saying, this is just going off quick. So let's go back to the other side. Let's see what we can find out. I'm kind of curious, man. I want to start doing the drag test on these modules and see if we find anything on this. So let's go check that out. All right, so because this one is so close right here, I'm just going to give this one a shot. And if we look right here, we have, which is our male side, I don't know if you can pick that up, is on this end. And what I'm using for this drag test, the AES Wave, they have this terminal kit. And this one is the closest one to what we have right here. You can see that about the same pins. And we're going to go ahead and grab this one. And what we want to do is go ahead and put this right in here. And holy smokes, dude, look at this. Watch this. It's like it doesn't even hold it. No wonder it's not sending no voltage. But the crazy thing is it didn't even show like it would send it. But this is not even going it, man. It's not even being held in place. Look, I'm going to try to hold this up, and you see it just flops out. Watch this. Doesn't even go in. All right, I'm going to show you how to pin these back in place, and we're going to try to retest this and see if we can get a fix right here. So let me go get the tools and let's see if this is a good angle. I'm going to try to move this a little bit more, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how to do this, okay? All right, I'm going to try to get you as close as possible. We're going to be using a back probe and then as well a pick. And I'll show you, we're going to try this one last time just so you can see that this is not going in there. Goes in there, but it's not really making any contact. All right. I was trying to get the best angle right here, but all we're going to use is going to be a back probe, a pick, and to verify we have our fix is going to be this tool right here. Remember, like I told you, If we put this right here, it just comes right out. So I don't think it's making good contact. Like I said, this is fine. It's trying to see if there's a voltage or a circuit integrity, and it's not seeing it. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with this. We're gonna go ahead and pick this off. So there's a bottom part, and we gotta just find this so we can pull it out. All right. And it's gonna be kind of hard because my hand is gonna be in the way. But I'm gonna try to go through it. And as you can see back here, we're gonna do one at a time and make sure the key is off so you don't short this out. You see the little tabs in the back? This is where I actually use this to go back here and I push these up. Let's see if we can get this. Gonna push these up, and at the same time, we're gonna be pulling back. So what I like to do is I put my finger around here, and then we start pulling this out. So once it's out, see, I'll do one at a time because when I put them back in, I want to make sure that I put them in right. Then we can kind of see the inside right here. Look at that. It's like a clear gaping hole right there. So at this time, this is when we start getting our little back probe. And what we want to do is on the sides right here, there's some little holes, and we're pushing the tabs back in place. That's what I like to do, pushing the tabs back in place. So we're doing one side, and then as well, gonna do this side. I wish I was left-handed because this would work so much better. Just trying to make sure that you can see. All right, let's try to check this out now. And look at this. Look at that. That's making a better contact. I'm trying to pull this up. All right, I'm just gonna do this one last time. And I'm not putting too much force where it's gonna break it. There you go. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back in. And remember, when you look at this, there's a fat side. So see fat side. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in this end so it can click in place. All right, there's one. Now let's do the other side. Remember, put our finger around the wire that we're gonna take off, and then once we pull the tab up, sometimes you gotta push it in, push the wire in. There you go. You do not want to force that tab on the back because you break that tab on the back, this is not gonna hold it in place. I'm gonna lie, this is a little bit hard. There you go. So let's do another reference. Look, this comes right out. It's not even doing anything. Just if we put it right there, it comes right out. All right, let's do the same thing. Remember, we're finding this, finding the side piece right here, and we're just gonna push it ever so to the side so it can be closer to the end. And go on the other side. Just remember not to force it too much to the point that it's gonna break off, and then you have to put a brand new connector. And we're gonna go ahead and do this. Look at that. Bam. Remember, that's why I do one at a time because you see the fat side right there? The fat side's right on the top. Same right here. So we know that this is going to be going upside. All right. Now this is the moment that we've been waiting for. Did we get a fix? Put our lock tab in place. This is what locks everything. And then we got to find our connector. All right, here it goes. I got to move everything back. And then we're going to get our multimeter and all that and verify if we can clear these codes. So let's move this out the way. Let's see what we get. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do this. All right, we found our ground, and let's go into this one right here. We're gonna do this in real time. All right, let's go ahead and clear this code. See what happens. This was on screen. All right, here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, ugh, I feel like a dummy. Key's not on. Okay, let's retry this again. All right, go to read fault codes. Come on, baby. Darn. I really thought that was going to fix it up. I'm not going to lie. Man, now I think I need to go to let's move down to the ABS module and let's see if there's something going on right there. I'm going to remove this part right here to get to it, just so I can make it a lot easier because it is right down there. And let's see what we can find out. Man, I really thought this was the fix right here. All right, so I went ahead and took off this connector, peeled off the actual tape right here, removed these pieces so that can make it a lot easier. So as you can see, we have all the pins right here. So as you can see, we have all the connectors right here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is do what we did last time. So we have a different one. This is a lot smaller. So we can just go through each individual one. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and just put it in there. Nice little pull. Nice little pull. I can tell you that one. It just nothing. Let's see if it just falls by itself. Yeah. All right. So we have our first one right here. And as if we look at this one, this is going to be a blue and orange. Blue and orange is a left rear sensor. All right. Remember, we did have some codes. I believe it showed a rear one. I forgot which one it was. I'll try to see if we can put it back up right here. So as you can see, that's good. We can wiggle it. Nothing's going to happen. Move on to the next one. That feels good. That feels good. That feels good. Ah, look at this. Man, let me mark these real quick because I don't want to forget which ones are which. At least when I start taking them off, we'll know. All right, let's move on to the bottom row. And which ones are these? Forgot to even check these. These are the last two in the middle row. That's a purple and white and brown and green. So purple and white, brown and green. I can tell you that violet and white, that's going to be the left front. And then brown and green is the left rear. Oh, God. Brown and green, left rear, sensor low. God, you know what? This is making more and more sense. All right, right here. Good. This one's good. This one has nothing. And this one is slightly off. So we can see those. I'm going to mark these. And these last two are going to be white and blue. And if we look at the yellow, it's going to be left front sensor low. And then the white and blue is going to be a vacuum return, which doesn't really matter. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this off camera, but I did mark all the ones that are bad. And we're going to do the same thing that I did up there. So I'm not going to show that same process. I'm going to actually go ahead and let this charge up right here. And then once we get back, we'll put everything back on and then remove these codes and see if we finally have a fix. Hopefully this works. No more parts, no parts required. Let's get it done. Whoop. All right, I finished everything up right here. Now what I want to do, I did use this on the previous video, Stable in 22. Is basically an enhancer. You know, a lot of people have been using dilated grease. That doesn't actually enhance this. This right here is like $100 something, and this helps out a lot. We're just gonna go ahead and put this in some of the connectors, so we're not gonna have any issues. And just be careful. This is expensive. We don't want to put this in the holes that don't count. And I think that's it. Cool. So now what we're going to do is put this on the other side, and we're going to see if this works. Like I said, this should be the fix. Let's put this all together, and let's hope for the best. Holy smokes. Look at that. Look at that beautiful. I haven't even cleared the codes. I just went ahead, put the key on on position, and look at this. We have voltage. How amazing is this? Oh man, this is so cool. Y'all can kind of see that 11.20. Now the moment of truth. I still haven't even put the freaking tire back on. Let's go ahead. Clear memories. Please. Yes!
Nice.
There you go. No parts required. Pin fitment. How crazy was this, man? This is crazy, dude. Let's move this out the way. Show this voltage. I know it's fluctuating because actually this multimeter kind of stinks. I'm not going to lie. Man, this is so cool. So yeah, it didn't need wiring harness. Most likely didn't need the wiring harness. Didn't need the wheel hub. Didn't need the ABS module. All it needed was just pin fitment. I don't know how it messed up or what happened, but there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the other side. So there you go. How cool was that right there? I'm gonna finish up the other side over there. Man, no parts required. All we had to do was get our little drag test, and then after that, verify which ones were bad. As you can see, the connector first showed that was bad, and then we went down to the bottom. You see, the tire's still off, and that was bad as well. And it doesn't hurt to get some Sebulin 22, man. That's something that I remember taking O'Reilly's classes. They always try to sell that. You can get a cheaper brand or a cheaper one on Amazon. I'll try to put the link down below. I know O'Reilly's used to sell it for 122. I think I bought this on Amazon for like 46 or 50 bucks. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think about the diagnosing that I did on this video. I'm kind of curious what y'all think. So there you go. If you do like this video, please put a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get our brand new videos coming out from Awesome Mechanics. Y'all take care. Y'all have a nice day. Goodbye.